हाँ जी। अच्छा, तो वो ग्लास हमने हाथ में लिया और उसके बॉटम से बबल्स जो थे वो राइज हुए. They went through the water, they reached the surface, and then they popped.
Yeah.
And this continues until that, that those bubbles are there. This
Air is
continues.
out. Yeah.
Now think of this glass and the bottom of the glass and the surface of the glass in this way. जो bottom of the glass है जहां से bubbles उठ रहे हैं, that is our चित्त. That is the repository of the impressions or the repository of the vasanas and sanskars. When a particular vasana or a group of vasanas or sanskars get triggered, a bubble in the form of a vritti is formed. This vritti now starts from the chit and it goes through the subconscious, and this subconscious mind is the water, and it reaches the surface and it pops into our conscious mind. As it pops, we become aware of it. It pops as a thought. In the easiest way to explain it. So from the subconscious, from the chit area, a vasana or a sanskar is triggered. It creates a modification, a vritti, in the form of that bubble. That bubble passes through the subconscious. We are not aware of it. And it reaches the surface and pops, which is the conscious state, and then we become aware of it. When it is passing through that water, it is creating a movement in water. Right? When a bubble will pass through water, it will create a movement. That movement is desire. Okay? Because now mind is moving, that is the agitation. जितना ज़्यादा bubble होंगे, जितना हिलेगा ज़्यादा. So that is the agitation that is taking place in the mind. When it pops on the surface, this becomes a thought. So that agitation is the desire part. What is the desire? Desire is to bring the water back to its calm state. Right? We were talking about this before. कि आपकी desire, when fulfillment of desire is not what gives you happiness, it is the getting rid of that desire that gives you the happiness. So when this agitated water, that is the desire, that is the creation of desire, and the desire, the same vritti, when it pops out, it becomes thought. So that's the difference between a desire and a thought, right?
So the thought could be positive or negative, or it becomes desire, then it becomes positive or negative.
No, see, a thought is a thought is a thought is a thought.
Right.
Now, based on our previous understanding, based on our previous intellectual understanding and our beliefs, we will decide whether the thought is correct or incorrect, whether it's positive or negative. So that's a process that happens, secondary process, right? So the thought has come. At that point, the thought has just arrived. That's it. It's just a thought. But now we are going to place some kind of a value on that thought.
Evaluation.
Buddhi.
Right?
Yeah.
And that is based on our previous understandings.
Understanding.
That is why in the culture of the world, a same cultural practice can be considered good at one place and bad at another place.
Mhm.
Right? So the process of the desire and the process of the thought is all linked back to our chit. Are you with me so far?
Mm.
Mhm.
Always just think of this particular example every time you want to think about it, because example is a very good visual representation of what is happening. It's a oversimplified example, no doubt about it, but the process is like that. So now, which means that number one, if my intellectual understanding can differentiate between good and bad, that's first thing. Then my intellectual understanding should also go beyond it and understand a thought is just a thought. Unless I put a value to it, it is neither good nor bad. So now I need to increase my awareness to go slightly above my own belief. In our spirituality, we say the biggest hindrance in spiritual progress is the belief that what I know is the only truth. That is the biggest hindrance, because what I know is the only truth is only a belief. And belief is only a sanskar or a vasana in the chit. It is caused by that. Okay. Now let's go back to the mind again. So now, generally speaking, the process of how a thought is being generated, how a desire is being generated, that mechanical process, we can understand a little bit more, right? But let's go back to the mind now. Now we said that water, there's a bubble going up. Now imagine that if the bubbles were too many, the water will be boiling. I mean, at least it will look like as if it is boiling. It's so agitated. But now comes another factor that we must introduce to it. And then we can understand it also because it is very close to us. We can understand, we can go back inside our own mind and we can see it. You can understand the mind's thoughts in three different ways. I mean, three different things are happening. Number one is that there is a quantity of thoughts. More bubbles are rising, more agitation. Number two is the quality of thoughts. A better quality thought takes you towards a happier mindset. And number three is the direction of thoughts. Okay. So now we know that there is chit, there are vasanas, there are sanskars or the impressions, which we call the knowledge that we are carrying from our previous birth. And we know that they all fall under tamas, rajas and sattva. And now we have added the factor how many of those are there, what is the quality of them. Quality is the tamas, rajas, and sattva. And what is the direction of them?
डायरेक्शन से क्या मीनिंग है?
Sorry?
एक मिनट, डायरेक्शन को थोड़ा और बताएं.
हाँ मैं बताता हूँ. So direction is basically जैसे if my thoughts direction is towards fulfillment of my material desire, it will always take me towards that only. If my direction of the thought is towards fulfillment of my ego, it will, all my actions are going to be towards that only. So what happens is that because each individual, we all have a mix of these thoughts, but that is what makes us different from each other. So in brief, what happens, what is the solution of this? If you have quantity of thoughts, quality of thoughts, and direction of thoughts. So what is the solution for these? So we say our Shastras and our all those great guys, I mean, they put together beautiful systems, and I'm just repeating it. The quantity of thoughts can be reduced by Karma Yoga. आप लोगों ने डेफिनेटली अपनी लाइफ में बहुत बार वॉलंटियर किया होगा काम. जैसे कभी कहीं मंदिर में या किसी पार्टी में आपने पानी पिलाया होगा किसी को. आप खड़े हैं, पानी पिला रहे हैं. Just think of that moment, those times. Just by doing that, your quantity of thoughts, your agitation of thought goes down. People who have a very high energy, because of which they get too many thoughts, for them the solution is to volunteer or do some work which is a selfless work. And by doing that, the quantity of the thoughts reduces. And that means that all those desires which are created because of this quantity of thoughts, they also get reduced. People whose direction of the thought is not in the right direction, for them Bhakti Yoga is recommended. More satsang you have, more you sit in that environment, more you pray together, more the direction of the thought changes. And for those who are intending to improve the quality of the thoughts, Jnana Yoga is recommended. Better your understanding of the things is, better the thoughts will be. And that is the reason why for different people, if they do different type of activity, they are able to then slowly sublimate or reduce their desires. Of course, the best combination is when we combine all these three activities together. So for example, when you go to a temple, let's say, or a Gita ashram or something, where you listen to some knowledge, and then you stand there serving food or water, and your environment is full of bhakti. So if you can combine these three together, that becomes a very good solution for almost all of us. Now it is up to us to decide whether I fall under quantity of thoughts is too much, or I fall under quality of thoughts is not good enough, or I fall under direction of thought is not right. And I can decide what is my solution. A gentleman came to me a few years ago and he wanted to have some advice because he used to become too angry too quickly, and he felt that he has no patience. And he had been told by many people that you should start meditating. And it was not working for him. So he came and I saw him and I talked to him and I realized that this gentleman has too much quantity of thoughts. He's not in a good position to do meditation, because meditation means you need to have reduced thoughts.
विचार
If you
शून्यता.
recommend meditation to him, he's not going to be able to do it, because you're not really addressing the problem here. For him, the solution is go and do volunteer work, and do something in the temple, go and do something in a society, in community. It's selfless work. He's very active. Obviously, he will do that. But the moment he does it, and for as long as he does it, 1 hour, half an hour, 2 hours, he will have reduced quantity of thoughts, and that will slowly start changing the construct of his mind. And he will start getting the patience. So the idea is that for each one of us, it's not just one Panadol which will work on everybody.
And also all the time it may not work.
Hanji?
All the time it may not work, right? From the time period. You may have acquired, you may have controlled your anger by getting yourself involved in Karma Yoga. But then there's a certain other aspect that for which you'll have to go to the second.
Right.
Jnana Yoga.
Right.
Bhakti Yoga.
That is why in our Shastras, they have given a very high importance to seva.
वो ये ना गुरुद्वारे में जैसे जाते हैं तो सेवा से ही स्टार्ट होता है.
Right.
ले बड़े से बड़ा आदमी भी जो है वो अपना सेवा करता है.
Yep.
और फिर आप ग्रंथी का भजन सुनते हो ग्रंथी का वो, और उसके बाद आप भजन करते हो फाइनली.
You have to derive pleasure out of whatever you are doing. Otherwise, it will not fulfill the desire that you had. You started doing that, right? If you don't enjoy serving others, then it's probably not for you.
So then you have to figure out why you don't enjoy and what is the solution for you. So
Yeah.
maybe you want to go for Jnana Yoga then, right?
Yeah.
So it's a question of understanding myself, understanding my own mind, and understanding what is being offered as solutions to us.
Yeah.
What is the tattva behind these solutions? What is the reason behind these solutions? You see, knowledge can be spoken as knowledge and knowledge, two different types of knowledge. One knowledge is why intellectual knowledge, understanding, and the other knowledge is experiential knowledge, when you have experienced something. The bridge between the understanding and the experiential knowledge is action.
Yep.
If I can perform an act that will convert my understanding into my experiential knowledge, that act I must perform. and performance of that act is called yoga. Lots of information.
Very good.
I hope not too much. The reality of the spiritual truth starts to become visible once the agitation of the mind starts to go down. When the quantity, quality, and the direction of the bubbles in that glass reduces or quality improves anyway, then you are able to see the surface and beyond. Until that time, it's just the mind is agitating.
Agitated.
All
right?
we see is the mind.
So basically, you are, and there will be a time, hopefully, sometime in life, where your mind is always calm, right? Or let's say less agitated and lesser.
Okay. So I will just add one more item on this, and so that just to make a point, you know, हम लोगों ने सबने बहुत बार सुना है कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. But do we remember the second line? This is only first line. मदन जी कहाँ हो?
मदन जी शायद है नहीं,
हैं?
है नहीं लगता है, चले गए.
है वो.
मगर आवाज नहीं आ रही उनकी. So the first line is karmarnivadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, which means basically that you have a right to work, act, but not the right on the fruit of the action. And the second line says ma karma phal hetu bhume sangotsva akarmani. Because what happens is if you are told that you don't have a right to the fruit of the action, it is this partial knowledge is negative. So the second line says, but because you don't have a right to the fruit of action, doesn't mean that you should become inactive.
Inactivity is not allowed. Yes.
You must act.
Yep.
Not doing something because it is futile, because it is not going to lead anywhere, or because it doesn't matter anyway. This is all negative. So if an action performed with this awareness, that action must be performed, is necessary to convert a theoretical understanding into a practical knowledge.
Basically, results of the actions are not in our control. Only our duty is in our control.
You will reach a point where you will not think about the result. You will be inspired to perform a very positive action, and you will leave the results totally out of the picture. This is where you will get to. But slowly, step by step. You know, this whole process is step-by-step process. भगवत गीता में तो उन्होंने बस डिफाइन कर दिया ना, वो who is a त्यागी, who is a sannyasi. So we understand that. We will talk about that also. So we understand on the karma side what happens. And like we had mentioned before, that we will probably have a discussion on the bondages, the karma bandhan, how the soul passes through one body to another body. You know what binds it and all that. So we will talk about that also.
Knowledge, हर knowledge आ जाती है, उसके बाद how do you inculcate that knowledge into daily activities of your life
Action.
is the challenge.
That's why I'm saying action is required. You see, understanding will not get into our daily life until we start acting with that understanding and then convert it into an experience.
Yep.
But right now, what you're saying, see, by knowing, sorry, Makran, just one more.
No, carry on.
Now we have understood a few things, right? And that means that some of our vasanas and sanskaras have been affected by it, but not all of them.
Yep.
So by doing this action, by repeating this knowledge, by taking it in and then converting into a positive action, slowly the quantity, quality, and direction of our thoughts, that means our chit, that means our sanskar and vasana, will change. Sorry, Makran, go ahead. मकरंद,
हाँ, सॉरी,
आप कुछ कह
मैं
रहे थे?
कह रहा हूँ कि गीता में ही इसका भगवान ने इसको ये कहा है कि ये जैसे तुमने पॉइंट उठाया ना कि इट्स नॉट इजी और इट्स डिफिकल्ट टू कम टू दैट सिचुएशन, तो उन्होंने उसमें अभ्यास के महत्व को बहुत ज्यादा,
अभ्यास कहते हैं ना, अभ्यास,
अभ्यास ही है।
अभी मैं आपको एक बात और भी बताता हूँ, आपने बड़ी अच्छी बात की मकरंद, तो इसलिए मुझे वो कहानी बतानी पड़ेगी। आपको मालूम है राजा परीक्षित का नाम सुना होगा आपने?
बिल्कुल भाई,
पांडवों के अंदर जो लास्ट राजा हुए,
सर्प दंश से जो
राजा परीक्षित को बताया गया कि आपके टाइम के बाद में कलयुग शुरू होने वाला है, और कलयुग जो है वो बहुत नेगेटिव युग है, बहुत खराबियां हैं उसमें, तो उनको खराबियां बताई गई कलयुग की। तो राजा परीक्षित ने कहा कि ये कलयुग जो है, ये इसको मैं पकड़ता हूँ, कली को, और इसको मैं खत्म कर दूंगा, तो इसका युग नहीं आने दूंगा। तो राजा परीक्षित ने जाके कली को पकड़ लिया और उसको बोले कि भाई मैं तो तेरा अभी वध करता हूँ, क्योंकि तेरा युग तो बहुत नेगेटिव है। तो कली ने बोला कि भाई मेरे अंदर बहुत ही बुराइयां हैं, नो डाउट, बट मुझ में एक बहुत अच्छी बात है। वो अच्छी बात ऐसी है कि उसके सामने कोई भी अच्छाई टिकेगी नहीं। तो परीक्षित ने पूछा, भाई क्या ऐसा क्या है तुम्हें? बोले कि देखो, जब आपका द्वापर युग है या सतयुग है या त्रेता युग है, ये सब युगों के अंदर हजारों साल का तपस्या करनी पड़ती है, बहुत सारे जन्म लेने पड़ते हैं, तब जाके कहीं भगवान की प्राप्ति होती है, तब जाके कहीं एनलाइटनमेंट होता है। मेरे युग में एक रात भी अगर कोई आदमी ध्यान लगा के करेगा तो उसको मिलेगा। राजा परीक्षित ने कहा, भाई ये बात तुम्हारी ऐसी है, इसकी वजह से मैं तुम्हें मार नहीं सकता। And it is a fact, in Kali-yuga, the amount of knowledge that is available to us and the possibilities that are available to us are so many.
Enormous, limitless.
It will take a very short period of time to actually convert this knowledge into a spiritual experience. So that is the good thing about it. So keep that in mind. It's no more thousands of years.
Very good.